Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Henry Yu, and if you are looking for some mostly vanilla gameplay, you are at the right place. Now let me just start off by telling you a little bit of something about myself. I have been playing Minecraft for just about 13 years, and I need to stop using buts. But anyway, I still consider myself a noob. Yes, that's true. In the 13 years that I've played this game, I've never killed the Ender Dragon, fought the Wither, or had netherite anything in survival. But I'm going to change that in this world, in this series, that doesn't have a name yet, but I guess some of my subscribers could come up with a name for the series. Only if I had any subscribers. Anyway, you might be the first, so hit that subscribe button if you think you might be interested in following the journey with me. Now, we need to get started, and one of my main priorities in this series is going to get diamond everything as soon as possible, because I tend to take about 500 in-game days to get to diamond. No, not in this one. I'm going to see if I can rush it. Now, if I quickly have a look around the spawn area here, we've got a village right there, which is going to make the search for diamonds take second seat for now, because I'm going to have to secure these villages before I do anything else. We've also got plenty of horses and some beautiful scenery, and more horses and a lava pool right here at spawn. Now, some of you might recognize this spawn, and if you do, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Which spawn is this? Because if you watch a lot of Minecraft content on YouTube, or Twitch for that matter, you might already know where I got this spawn from. Anyway, let's go and see what is available in that little village close by, and when we're done there, we're going to run and find a cave or a ravine or something where we can find a few diamonds. The village loot did not disappoint, and now that I do have a little bit of armor and the villages are secured, I've got a little bit of food, I think it's time to go and see if we can find those juicy diamonds. And this ravine seems to be the perfect spot to go down and see if we can find anything worth having. Alright everyone, now that we are fully kitted out in diamonds, I think we need to look at the next objectives that I need to get to as soon as possible. Now, I would like to breed a few villagers, which I think we can do in the village. I need to set up a very basic iron farm, because you can never have too much iron, especially this early on in the game. And then most importantly, I need to get some food, because as you can see, my saturation bar is almost halfway depleted, and the only food I've got that I can eat at the moment is sweet berries. Oh, I've got a few apples as well, but that's not going to last long. Now, I do have a potato, I've got a few carrots, I've got beetroot seeds, I've got wheat seeds, and I've got pumpkins. So, I guess we can start off with getting the food situation sorted. Looking in the free cam, I think we can flatten this area out for a few basic early game food farms, and then once that is sorted, we can start dealing with the villagers and the iron farm. So let me go ahead and see how much of this I can use, but maybe I don't need to flatten too much too soon, because I think this area right here looks like a pretty decent size for our very early food farms. So maybe we should get going with that before too much time passes and I starve of hunger. Alright everyone, the food situation is under control. As you can see, we've got crops and they are thriving. Now, I have been busy while growing these crops, and yes, we are making progress on all our objectives. The first one, let me go over and show you where we're going to build the iron farm, and I've done some preparations. The area you see behind me, I think, is going to work for the iron farm. I hope I measured everything correctly, because where these path blocks are is where the iron golems should be able to spawn if we have our villagers and zombie in this area right here. Now, I have been lucky enough to get a zombie captured. And so our little zombie is safe inside, and he shouldn't be able to hurt our villagers if we get them installed on these 3 beds over here. I do also have these lecterns here because I would like these villagers to become librarians and maybe give us a few good books. Now, further progress that I have made is to dig out a little area where our villagers are going to be making babies. And if we turn the corner around here, we've got 2 villagers in here. I don't know. Oh my! We've got 4 villagers in here, and this one is ready to work. It's already in its little hole. Wow, this is awesome. 4 beds, 4 villagers. I will need to come and get a few more beds for these guys. Maybe expand the area a little in this direction so that they can make even more babies. But we will get back to them once we've got the iron farm going, because that is our priority number 1 for now. So yeah, we need to get 2 villagers into the iron farm we can breed the third one. Now, I do have good luck with me on today, because these two houses, I've got a villager in here, which is a librarian, but I don't care, he's going to lose his job and become a librarian again once he's in the iron farm. And then over on this side we've got another one locked up securely. This one is a cleric who will unfortunately have to become a librarian as well, but we can keep the work block and we can make our own clerics later on. So that's what needs to be done next, and I have fortunately thought ahead and made a nice path where we could row them with boats up to the iron farm area. It ain't pretty, but it works. As you can see behind us is an iron golem getting incinerated, and once it dies, it will leave us with a few pieces of iron and maybe a poppy or two. Now this hasn't been running for too long, but if we come down and look in this chest, you'll see we've got almost a stack and a half of iron. In fact, we've probably got around about 2 stacks of iron and a few poppies to boot. Now the way that this iron farm works is we've got the villagers and the zombie underneath the spawning platform. The iron golem will spawn on this platform, the water stream will push it down with its head into the lava, and it will get incinerated, making a very, very big noise. Once the golem passes, we get a few iron blocks. Now, this farm isn't perfect. As you can see, we've got a few pieces of iron and a poppy hovering here on the side, which isn't being collected. Now, underground you will see we've got our 3 villagers and our zombie that keeps scaring the villagers so that they can call for reinforcements and spawn an iron golem. Now, the final piece of the puzzle for today's episode is getting the villager trading going, because I need some emeralds so that I can lock the ideal trades with these villagers underneath the iron farm. Now, this has taken me quite a while to build. Even though it is a simple concept, I kept messing it up. But nonetheless, it's working, and now we can get to the villagers. So we've got a few villagers bred up and ready to become employees. Now, for a start, I would like to get 7 employees going, and the first one would be a farmer villager. Maybe we could trade some crops and pumpkins with a farmer. Then we would also like to have a cleric, as redstone and rotten flesh trades could come in handy. We want a smithing table for a toolsmith, a fletcher with a fletching table. The blast furnace will give us an armorer. The weaponsmith we can get with a grindstone, and then a stone mason with the grindstone, or with the stone cutter at least. So these are the 7 villagers we want to get going right now, because we need to find emeralds, or at least make some emeralds. So let's get going and see if we can get these villagers employed. Now, I do have enough of these villagers grown up to become employees, so I'm just going to place the work blocks in these little stalls. Now, honestly speaking, I'm not one for keeping the villagers locked up like this, but for now, for the early game, we are going to do that. And we are going to just use trapdoors and fence gates to keep them in their areas. So the farmer is in his area, we've got the cleric in his area, we've got the toolsmith in his area. And finally, we've got all our workers in their little working spaces for now. Now, we need to see what we can trade with them so that we can level them up and get some emeralds. Alright, and that's enough of that. We've got 39 levels, and I think now it's the time for us to start trying to get an enchanting table so that we can at least enchant our gear. And yeah, because we need to prepare to do some building eventually in the next episode, not this one. But let's see if I can find enough books for a full enchanting table, and then we can use some of these levels to enchant our gear. But first I must see if I can look in some good trades with the villagers down in the iron farm. Alright, so these guys behind me has got a few good trades for us. I spent some time trying to get a few awesome trades, but the most important one is mending, and we so do have that. Let's have a quick little look. So Isidro, the first villager, is a fortune 3. Now I have spent some time trading with him, and unfortunately he's got Curse of Vanishing, which we will not be able to use. But we can get lanterns from him, and that's a bonus. Next up we've got Gerald. Gerald is our mending trader. For 26 emeralds the price is a little bit steep, but I think we can work with that, because how many of these do we actually really need? Frostwalker for 56 emeralds. Don't think I'm gonna use that anytime soon. And then we've got Kindra. Kindra is trading Silk Touch for 9 emeralds and also lanterns and paper. So these trades will be very useful in the future. But now I guess it's time to sort of try and use these levels that I've got for some enchanting. So I have spent a little bit of time gathering the bookshelves and getting things ready to do the enchanting, and I think I am ready to give it a go. So let's see what we can get with these levels that I've got on me. Well, now that wasn't too bad at all. In fact, I think this enchanting table in this world of ours have been pretty decent to me. The sword, nothing too spectacular, but I've got a Silk Touch pickaxe with efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3, and I've got a fortune pickaxe with efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3. Also got Silk Touch and efficiency and unbreaking on my axe, so I would say that is a pretty decent start. Now I did go out and explore a little bit around the base to see just what we have around us. I did meet up with a few pillagers, and let's just say that they were no match for me in my diamond armor. Then, looking for some coal underground, I found this little skeleton spawner that is really not underground at all. It is basically almost on the surface. Now that could be a nice source of experience and bone meal. After that I started fencing up an area because I've got an idea as to what I would like to do, but to find out more about that you will need to maybe just come back for the next episode, because I've got plans and this world seems to be very, very good to me. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please remember to leave a like, and maybe if you subscribe you could be my very, very first subscriber. Until next time, happy exploring, happy gaming and happy mining. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.